Hello everyone. Welcome to TaxExterminator.com, where we kill taxes dead. You're going to learn how to reduce your taxes legally beginning today. I'm your host, Brent Jordan. I'm a veteran tax attorney, former UCLA adjunct professor, and current district court trial judge. Today's webinar is entitled The 12 Biggest Tax Mistakes That Cost Business Owners Thousands of Dollars Each Year. This webinar is based upon the following legal authorities: the IRS Tax Code, United States Treasury regulations and tax court rulings, and the IRS Revenue Procedures, Private Letter Rulings, Publications, the Manual, and Tax Forms. Today's segment is entitled Missing Travel Deductions. But before we begin, here's a taxpayer talking to his accountant, and he says, "If I flee the country to avoid paying taxes, can I write off the miles as a business travel?" We're going to be looking at two areas that most business owners neglect as far as travel deductions within the United States and in foreign countries. First, starting within the United States, you need to look at the purpose of the business or other travel, the places you're going to, the time, and then I'll show you what deductions you're entitled to. As far as purpose, if you're traveling within the United States for any of these purposes, such as business, education, medical, charitable, or you're moving, you're entitled to a deduction as far as meeting the test of purpose. The second test is the actual place. You can obtain a travel deduction when you go to a business office within the United States, go to a hotel or a seminar and convention, a classroom, even a cruise ship. You can go see a colleague in another state in a home, or go check on your own real estate. Or finally, you can bring your spouse along if your spouse meets certain requirements. As far as time, in order to get travel deductions, you have to spend a night away from home. You have to be away overnight. Now, if you go more than one day away, at least 50% of the days need to be business days. And with certain strategies, you can even obtain a travel deduction when you stay over for a weekend and you have no business actually during the weekend. This creates an opportunity for you to bring your family, for example, to Disneyland, whereby you work during the week, and then on the weekend, you and your family enjoy Disneyland, and then you return to work and come home, and you can write off or deduct the travel expenses for the weekend that did not involve business. Now, what specific travel deductions are you entitled to? Well, there's two groups. The first group is transportation expenses, and the second group I refer to as on-the-road deductions, which include meals, lodging, and incidentals. If you meet a less stringent requirement, you're entitled to only transportation deductions. But if you meet a more detailed requirement, if you satisfy the IRS tests, the IRS will permit you to deduct your transportation costs, your meals, your lodging, and incidentals. Transportation includes a vehicle, a train, a bus, an airline, even a cruise ship, if properly documented and you fulfill certain IRS requirements. Now turning to foreign country. That is, when you travel outside the continental United States for any of the foregoing purposes that are identified in the United States rules. What's most important is you must have a real good business reason to go outside the United States. For example, let's say you're an attorney and you practice international law. Well, you can't just go to Paris and study something there. For example, take a seminar that you could take just as easily in the United States. But if there's a particular reason you need to go to Paris, for example, Paris is having a certain course in international law that you cannot get in the United States, then you fulfill the business purpose. With respect to a foreign country, the rules vary depending upon whether you're gone 7 days or less or more than 7 days. If you're gone 7 days or less, and you have 1 day wherein you have a business purpose, then you can write a deduction for the entire transportation expenses. Now, with respect to the on-the-road expenses, there's more stringent requirements. If you're gone more than 7 days for foreign business travel or for the other purposes described in the United States travel, if your business purpose is at least 75% of the trip, you can obtain a deduction for your transportation expenses. Ron Paul once said, 1913 wasn't a very good year. 1913 gave us the 16th Amendment, the income tax, and the IRS. There's a treasure chest of free money buried in your business. Claim it today. Well, this concludes another segment of our webinar entitled The 12 Biggest Tax Mistakes That Cost Business Thousands of Dollars Each Year. On behalf of TaxExterminator.com, the home of the Proactive Tax Plan, I want to thank you for joining me here today for segment number 7, Missing Travel Deductions. And I look forward to seeing you at our next segment, number 8, entitled Missing Health Insurance Deductions.